Robert Mueller tells hearing that Russian tampering in U.S. election was a serious challenge to democracy.
Here's a summary of the article.
Former Trump-Russia special counsel Robert Mueller has told officials at the start of back-to-back hearings on Wednesday that the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the U.S. presidential election are among the most serious challenges to American democracy he has seen. Mr. Mueller was flanked by police officers in the Rayburn House office building as he headed toward a hearing room on Wednesday morning. Though Mr. Mueller declared at the outset that he would be limited in what he would say, the hearings nonetheless carry the spectacle of a prosecutor discussing in public a criminal investigation he conducted into a sitting U.S. president. "Why didn't Robert Mueller investigate the investigators?" Mr. Trump said in his tweet. Before Mr. Mueller even took his seat to testify, the president tweeted 9 times about Mr. Mueller and his investigation. Wrong. Why didn't Robert Mueller investigate the investigators? Mr. Trump quoted Fox News anchor Chris Wallace in a subsequent tweet that referred to Wednesday's hearings. "This has been a disaster for the Democrats and a disaster for the reputation of Robert Mueller."
This post received a score of 31,261, with an upvote ratio of 85%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Any particularly impactful statement is always broken up across multiple sentences. He emphasizes every qualifying word to make sure that the sentence cannot be easily presented without it being considered. He uses more verbose language and more complicated words to make any quotes more difficult to follow for their meaning. Literally anything he can do to avoid giving the media a sound bite and to remain neutral.
He's been pretty clear that the report is what he wants focus on. His answers were almost all made ensuring that the report, not sound bites of him, would be what was usable. Routinely, he would refuse to read out loud even his own quotes from the report, instead insisting the questioner could read them, in order to prevent sound bites of him. I think he largely accomplished his goal, ensuring that this was about the report and not about himself.
I guess he feels little need to elaborate on statements within the report, since he's confident there was no important information left out. He mostly just wants people to actually read the thing, and to correct any mistaken interpretations people may make.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good, talented people spent a lot of time in making the report, and he clearly feels that the report is of top-notch quality. He does not want that work tossed aside in favor of a 5-second soundbite.
Unfortunately, HES refusing to read the room here. We the American public aren't gonna read the report. We are stupid and have short attention spans. We need a 5-second soundbite.
Imagine if Mueller had a TLDR at the end of the report and no one got to it cause no one read the whole thing.
I mean, the executive summaries of each section basically were that.
And of course, nobody read those either.
I was saying boo earns. But I'm not a citizen. Equals.
And Mueller said they're working to interfere right now. That should alarm every single American.
Now watch as half the country will call it fake news and the other half is powerless to do anything about it until election time.
Not only that, but the interview with the woman in Texas that was fooled and paid by obvious Russians to build a float with Hillary and Bill in a cell was unabashedly uncaring that Russians were behind the plan was mind-boggling.
It's because everyone affected by the Russian propaganda believes they would have reached the same conclusions anyway. Nobody thinks they were duped because they agreed with the duping anyway.
That's some effective propaganda.
I'm not sure if that's even propaganda anymore. It's like another level of population control where the subjects are aware, but just don't care.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.